What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to talk about the tropics, going to break down two areas that have the potential for development over the next several days and into the first couple of days of September. I'm going to show you where those two tropical waves are right now, and we're going to look at some models. Stick around. Before we get into it, I wanted to first welcome our new subscribers and thank you guys for hitting the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We'd love to have you on board. Just hit that subscribe button that pops up, hit the little bell, and you will be alerted every time we post new content breaking down all things weather. Let's get to it. I first wanted to show you where these two disturbances are at. One a little closer to land. It is barely visible. It's in the Caribbean. We'll take a closer look in just a second. The other, though, way out into the Atlantic. So really a lot of time to watch both of these, as development, if any, will be gradual and will be on the slower side. I'll show you what I'm talking about when we go over some of the forecast models also in a few minutes. We are going to start in the Caribbean. Parts of the Leeward and Windward Islands getting hit with a few gusty thunderstorms in the mix, especially in around Dominica, Martinique, Trinidad, and Tobago. The darker reds and purples you see there on your screen, that's the satellite picking up on the colder cloud tops, the infrared satellite. And the darker the red, the more intense the thunderstorms are. So some pretty nasty thunderstorms at times in parts of the Windward Islands. But as a whole, this system is very disorganized. This is it right here. The opportunity for development is going to be once it gets into this yellow area, as highlighted by the National Hurricane Center, and it's going to take its time to get there. Again, development, if any, is going to be slow, but once you start to get out by the Yucatan Peninsula 4, 5, 6 days from now, the environment is going to become a little more conducive. So those really in the western Gulf of Mexico, Bay Campeche, just want to keep a close eye on this one as we get into the first couple of days of September. More on that in a second. The second disturbance that we are watching is way out by Africa. This thing just rolled off of the continent, and you're watching it here. I'll turn on the telestration again, and you see the brighter blue cloud tops here. So some intense thunderstorms, relatively speaking, just outside of this little yellow development zone that the National Hurricane Center has highlighted for that potential development area. This is right over the Cabo Verde Islands, so some inclement weather for us, some gusty thunderstorms. This one's going to be gradual development, if any, here, because we are watching it interact with another tropical wave. So it's really this whole entire mess, if you will, of thunderstorms. At this stage in the game, when it's really early like this, and before we really have reliable data being pumped in from the Hurricane Hunter aircrafts that go in and around these storms, ensemble forecasting is the way to go. I know there is a lot going on this map. This is the European ensemble picture now, and we're focusing on the brighter green colors, yellow, orange, red. That symbolizes here the lower pressure, and we're looking for the clusters of numbers. The red numbers in particular, that's going to be your pressure value here. So this, what I'm circling now, is that tropical wave that I just showed you off the coast of Africa. This is now fast forwarded to Tuesday, August 30th in the afternoon. And once the colors start to get a little more yellow and orange, that is the ensemble members coming into more agreement that we're going to have a developing system. So as I take this further out into the future, I want you to stay focused on this center one right now. I know there's a bunch of other red colors popping up. We'll get to those. But nonetheless, we're focused on that first tropical wave off of Africa. And notice again that color starts to get a little more red. This is now on September 2nd, so that Friday into Saturday. And notice again, we're going to have, it looks like something anyway. The strength is still to be determined with this because the environment, it gets a little better, but it's still a little hostile for these storms. So at least some good news in the short term. Anyway, so as we get towards that 3rd, 4th, 5th day of September, again, we could have a little something close to the Windward Islands and Leeward Islands or the Caribbean islands themselves. So again, just something to keep in the back of your mind. Also, that first wave I showed you in the Caribbean, the European also trying to bite, that we could have something trying to develop in and around the Yucatan Peninsula. Here is the GFS ensemble. This one a little more aggressive with the Caribbean wave especially. We're looking at August 31st now. When I put this into motion, and again, we're seeing here that this ensemble forecast, all the members really trying to bite on those three potential waves. The one in the Caribbean that could develop near the Yucatan, that central one, that's that wave again that's closer to Africa as we speak, and then that one that's over the central part of the country right now. That's again, that's way out there. But nonetheless, here we go in time, and you see the real aggressive nature of the GFS ensembles here. The darker oranges, reds, and yellows indicating that we have developing low pressure here as we move into maybe September 1st, 2nd, 3rd, again, near the Yucatan or Western Gulf of Mexico. So, again, something to be mindful of as we move into Labor Day weekend. And then also this junk here in the central Atlantic. So I mentioned that we're having that broad area of thunderstorm activity, really a couple of waves involved. And as I mentioned before with the ensemble members, each member has a different idea of where the center could be. This is one of the reasons why development will likely be slow and gradual, because look at how strung out the idea is on the GFS. So there's likely going to be several centers competing against each other. We'll have to wait and see for the outcome here as we get a clearer picture as we get into next week. But still, that picture is being painted that we're likely going to have at least some kind of inclement weather, a disturbance of some sort, closing in on the Leeward Islands, potentially the Caribbean islands, as we get into September 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Again, the strength is still in question. Thank you guys a ton for watching this video. Again, there's nothing imminent out there. Just be mindful, especially in the Western Gulf of Mexico or Yucatan Peninsula. And then again, for us in the Leeward, Windward, Caribbean islands, that there could be a little something coming down the pipeline in both of those areas. Development, if any, is going to be slow and gradual. So there's plenty of time to watch this. And we will, of course, keep you updated every step of the way. If you love the weather, please hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell, and you'll be kept up to date to all things weather. Thanks so much, guys. We'll catch you next time.